everyone and welcome back. Now today I'm going to be making a quick and easy delicious salmon salad. Now this salad is really healthy. It's got vegetables and lentils in it and a mixture of greens and herbs. So it's going to be both really tasty and nice and healthy. And it's quick too. So in front of me I have some cut up celery, red onion and carrot. Now I'm going to put this in a pan and saute over medium heat until they become nice and soft. And once they're soft, I'm going to put a little bit of garlic in. Now behind me while this is all happening, I have some lentils, some green lentils, which are just boiling away. So they're just dried, I bought from the supermarket, and 1 cup of lentils to 3 cups of water, and boil them for about 20-ish minutes with a little bit of salt until they become nice and tender. So I usually start those first because they usually take the longest, and they're going to be added into the sauteed vegetables afterwards. Now I also have some delicious skinless salmon here I've just got from the supermarket. I'm just going to pat that dry with a little bit of paper towel before adding a drizzle of olive oil, pepper and salt over the top. Now this salmon I'm just going to bake in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 8 minutes. Now the timing depends on the size, but I found about 8 minutes gives a really nice juicy finish. It's not too pink in the middle, it's all perfectly cooked to my liking. I know a lot of people like to cook their fish on the cooktop or in the pan, but cooking in the oven is really easy. You just stick it in, again 8 minutes, it's really healthy, there's just a little bit of oil. I know some people might like it crispy and the oven doesn't make it crispy, but for this salad I think it's quite nice just being mixed in and on top. So now my veggies are starting to saute. I've also got some cherry tomatoes in front of me that I've cut up in half. I've got half an avocado, which is an optional extra at the end. I've got some baby rocket. You can also use spinach or both, really up to you. And I've also got some fresh herbs. So I've got a little bit of basil just from the garden, some thyme, and some continental parsley. So this is nice to add towards the end just to give a nice fresh flavour to the salad. Okay, so my oven's now preheated to 180 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to add my salmon in, set the timer for 8 minutes, and watch over my vegetables as they saute. Okay, so it's been about 20 minutes. My lentils now are nice and soft. I've just tried them with a fork. So I'm just going to strain them now before putting them in with the sauteed vegetables. So my sauteed carrots, onions and celery have got some nice colour now, and I've added a little bit of salt and pepper and just a couple of herbs, so a little bit of dried rosemary and a little bit of dried oregano, just as a kind of precursor to the herbs we're going to add at the end, just to add a little bit extra flavour. Now I've also added a couple of chili flakes, so I do like my chili. So from here the lentils have been put into the saute pan with the vegetables. I'm just going to crush some garlic up in my garlic crusher and put this straight into the vegetables as well. Oh, and there's the timer for the salmon, so I better check that out. So that salmon is now nicely cooked. It looks nice and juicy and ready to go in the salad when it's done. So the garlic is now in and it's smelling amazing. I've got some leftover chickpeas as well, so I think I'm going to add some of those. And I'm going to add my tomatoes now too, so they cook down a little bit. So while this is just finishing off cooking, I'm going to add a little bit of red wine vinegar, and this is just going to spice up the flavour a little bit and give it a little bit of an acidic taste. You can also add a little bit of lemon juice as well if you'd like to. Now just before we serve it, I'm going to cut up my herbs. Not the thyme, I'm just going to slide that in, but the rest of the herbs I'm just going to cut up into little tiny pieces and sprinkle that over the top. So I'm just going to bunch these up as tightly as I can and just do a rough chop with the stems and all on the parsley. Chop lengthways first and then just a nice small chop down the center. There we go. So I'm just going to add this in. I might just slide these down now. So you pull down the opposite way to the leaves that are growing for the thyme, and the thyme will just slide right off the stem. You don't want this stem part, it's a bit woody and not really very nice to eat or come across while you're eating the salad. That fresh thyme and the fresh herbs smell amazing. The fresh herbs really make a difference to, really any cooking, but especially in a salad, fresh herbs really take it up a notch or two. Okay, so I'm going to add these in now. And give it a little mix around. Okay, so I'm going to take this off the heat and serve it up. So on the bottom I'm going to start with a bed of rocket or spinach or whatever greens you'd like, and then I'm going to spoon over the warm mixture of lentils and veggies. I'm then going to scatter some of the avocado that I've chopped up over the bowl before adding my piece of fish right on top. And I'm just going to add a little bit of pepper and salt on top. And sometimes I like to add just a little bit of shaved parmesan. Now the parmesan cheese really, again, kind of introduces a nice sharp, different cheesy flavour. I don't like too much, you don't need much, just a tiny sprinkling just on top of the salad. And that's it. Now I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you really do try this recipe, because it may take a little while to cook the vegetables and cook everything down, but the beauty of it is that it really creates quite a lot of this lentily veggie salad, and you can use it the next day, take it to work. You could put a can of tuna with it, you could even have it by itself, but it really lends to anything, even some smoked salmon you just get from the supermarket. You don't have to cook salmon yourself, but really anything. Anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.